Hey friends, what's up? Phillip here with Points with Phillip, and I'm here with something that's a little bit interesting, a little bit different. So I was just kind of using my bank account, and I was thinking, wait a minute, I really love this bank, and well, I thought I'd talk about it. So let's take a look about why I love my Ally spending account. So let's take a look at Ally Bank. But before we do that, go ahead and like and subscribe. The more you do like and subscribe, the more YouTube knows that what I'm doing is helpful, and the more I know that what I'm doing is helpful. So thanks so much for showing your appreciation. And well, let's get into it. So let's take a look at Ally Bank. So this is an online banking partner that currently has credit cards, savings accounts, spending accounts, and other loan products in addition to investment accounts. So now the saving account is kind of the main player and the main reason to go with Ally. So this currently has a 3.6% APY on account balances. And so that's going to be really quite interesting. And one of the things that I love about Ally Bank is I actually use it as a vehicle for getting money on my savings because, well, I do have my my quarterback checking account is through Chase because they have a lot of physical locations near me in case I do need to go there. But they actually have a fee for your savings account if you don't have a certain balance amount and things like that, and they don't have a good, essentially a good interest that they give you for holding money in that account. So I need to figure out a way to put my money in ways that actually make me money, and so the Ally Bank 3.6% APY is pretty much as good as it gets in the current climate with the interest rates declining. And so that's not bad. Now, Ally also doesn't have any banking fees. So if you don't do direct deposit or if you don't have very much coming into the bank, to the account every month, you don't really have to worry about having some of it just randomly come off, right? So for example, Chase charges $15 for your account if you don't have $500 in direct deposits coming into that account every month. And other banks are very similar to that. So Truist also has, so what was SunTrust, they have some that. TD Bank has things like that. So they all have fees if you don't have enough direct deposits into this account each month. So if you don't really have a lot coming in, you don't have to worry about the fees with this particular bank. Now, let's take a look at the app and the website. Now, the app is definitely not Chase level of intuitive, right? It's still kind of a little hinky to kind of work around. But one of the interesting things, it has an iPad app, it also has iPhone apps and Android apps, and you can actually get, for the most part, everything done on the app without having to go to the website, which is something that I really like. And that's kind of nice. Now, let's take a look at the spending account. So the spending account is Ally's way of referring to essentially a checking account. So the benefit here is that there's no account fees for holding it. So you don't have any maintenance fees, right? But you also don't have any overdraft fees. So if you are someone who uses a debit card regularly, I personally don't do that because I feel like it's managing my risk a little bit more to use credit cards instead of debit cards. But if you are someone who uses debit cards, having that no overdraft fee and kind of how they manage that, so you can actually do automatic transfers from your savings to cover your purchases on your checking account, that can be kind of helpful as well. So if you are someone who's worried about that, that's a nice feature. One thing that's also cool about the Ally spending account is that, first of all, they have access to two major ATM systems. So they have access to all point ATMs and MoneyPass ATMs for free. So you don't have any fees associated with using an ATM as long as it's part of the All Point network or the MoneyPass network. Now, you also can be reimbursed up to $10 each statement cycle for fees charged by other ATMs nationwide. So across the United States, if you're going to an ATM that isn't on the Allpoint or MoneyPass network, then essentially basically the ATM will charge you money, but at the end of that statement cycle, Ally will reimburse you up to $10 of that money. So that can be super helpful if you're someone who's worried about being able to get access to your money because you can't go to a physical Ally bank location, right? Now, you can avoid overdrafts by linking your savings account and setting up automatic transfers. So that can be super helpful as well. And also, this spending account has access to Zelle, which means you can actually Zelle money from your other accounts into this account. And so that makes transferring from, say, your quarterback account to your to your savings account with Ally very easy because you just Zelle from one account to the other, and then you can transfer from your spending account into your Ally savings account. So that's actually how I manage my money. Now you can also deposit checks into your spending account via the Ally Bank app. And so I know that's pretty common, but I know the first time that I did that, back in the 2000s was, well, it was mind blowing. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, it's something that you can do with this account. Now, I did say that the savings account is kind of like the reason for doing this. So let's talk about it. So there's lots of cool features on the savings account with Ally, and it works well with your spending account if you get both accounts together. Now you can earn 3.6% APY on balances in your savings account, but you can also set up savings buckets. And so that's actually their term, savings buckets. And you can have a vacation bucket. So let's say if you want to save, say, $500 every month, and you want to put $100 of it towards your vacation fund, and then $400 of it towards your emergency fund, for example, you can have two buckets in your account. And essentially, basically, whenever it comes time to actually spend money for that vacation, well, you have everything already kind of divvied up, and it's easy to transfer that out to be used, essentially. So that's kind of an interesting way to kind of meet your savings goals. So if you have something where you're trying to, like, say, I want to have 3 months of my living expenses saved up, then this is something that can help you get to that financial goal. And well, that's one of the reasons why I love it. Now, let's take a look too. You can also do recurring transfers from other checking accounts as well. So if you say want to make sure that you're going to be, say, saving $200 a month from your main checking account, you can actually just automate those transfers. You can say I'm going to do $50 on, say, the second of the month, right? So that can be done too. But if you use the spending account and you use your debit card with the spending account, they have something called roundups, and it's very similar to how Acorns does it, if you've heard of that. So essentially, basically what they do is you spend your money with your debit card. And so let's say that purchase came to $24.50, right? So $24.50. Essentially, that roundup would put that 50 cents into kind of a special bucket. And then once that bucket gets up to $5, it automatically transfers it to your savings account. So it's a great way to help kind of forcibly save if that's something that you need help with. And so that's really nice. Now, so they do currently have credit cards. Let's talk about the credit cards. So now they're in the process of selling off those accounts to a different bank, but I still have to go to the app to manage my credit card. I have the Teachers Inspire credit card, and so that is a simple 2% cashback card. It gets 2% on every single purchase, no annual fee. But it also allows me to redeem my cash back to my checking or savings account, and it doesn't have to be an Ally checking or savings account, which is kind of nice. It's kind of open the way that Discover does their cash back, but some other banks don't really do it like that, so it's important to note. Now, for their credit cards, you do have to be targeted. So I did have a direct mail targeted offer, and I did have a kind of a small sign-up bonus, I want to say like $200 or something like that for spending on the card, and I also did have a welcome APR offer, and so I think it was like 12 or 15 months or something of 0% APR for expenditures on that card. And so that's something that was interesting to me. Now, they also have other accounts. They have money market accounts. They have investment accounts. You can actually invest money with Ally. Although I don't use it. I don't know if you definitely should, but I will say the savings and the spending account are very interesting. They also do have CDs if you're interested in locking up your money from 6 months to a year to 2 years or so. I don't have any of those products though, so I can't really talk about it firsthand. So that's they're there. I'm sure they're good because the rest of their products are really good. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the savings account and the checking account because I've gotten a lot of use out of it over the past year, and well, I just wanted to share that with you. So if you're interested in considering a savings account or a checking account with Ally Bank or both, I will have a referral link in the description below, and that will definitely go a long way towards helping the channel if you use that. So I appreciate it if you do. But anyway, this is an account that I really get a lot of use out of. I think you might be able to get use out of. So that's why I came here to talk to you about it today. But thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you coming. And actually, if you did stay all the way to the end, go ahead and leave a $ in the comment section below, and I will definitely go ahead and try to like it and then also respond to it. So thanks again so much for joining me, and I can't wait to talk to you again next time.